about this.
This is, I feel like you set us up here, Michael, for such an awesome speaker. It's something which is really important, right? Is you got to be able to understand how to introduce yourself. And I'm just about to introduce Lisa, and I'm very excited, Lisa, because in this day and age, we don't have a lot of time to make an impression on people. And making an impression makes all the difference at the beginning of that journey. And so Lisa is going to talk to us about maximizing your 30-second commercial, how to effectively grow your message, being consistent, strategic, and focused. And then, according to what Michael said, we're going to go into a breakout room again and try this all over again after we hear how exactly to do it from Lisa. And I'm so excited, Lisa, because this could literally change your business, right? So I'm going to hand it over to you. Thank you, Lisa.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate it. Make sure you have a notepad nearby, because we're going to take some notes and we're going to do some sharing during this session. You can see my screen, right? Okay, so I want to chat with you about maximizing your 30-second commercial. I was excited for the other speakers that we had, and that lots of people had us journaling and writing things down. This is going to be an opportunity for you to brainstorm your 30-second commercial. And while we're going to have a few minutes to do that here today, it will be a continued work in progress and playing with it as you go along. And so let's get ready to kick that off. So know that your 30-second commercial is all about making an introduction and gaining favorable attention, so that eventually you earn the opportunity for a one-on-one to discover wants and needs, and then be able to make recommendations for next steps and get that commitment to engage. It is not about selling all of your stuff. And if you, as you're making that introduction and gaining that favorable attention, you want to inspire someone to think and do. And so the way to do that is really to create some value and provoke that curiosity to say, oh, I want to talk to that person. I want to know more, or I want to sign up for their newsletter, or I want to follow them on social media. It's really essential that you're clear, concise, confident, and consistent. And while you might get bored with the words that you're saying out there, guess what? We don't pay attention to them as much as we should. So the people that you say it to over and over again, when you end up in same networking groups or same breakout rooms, they don't remember as much as you think they do. So say it again, and say it with emphasis as you go along. Okay, we're going to do line number 1. I want you to write this down so that you can share this out in just a few minutes. When you're sharing your first line of your introduction, you're beginning with your name and your business name. You're stating your big result, because you want to inspire us to know more. So I'm Lisa Heintzelman with Illuminations Consulting. As a business coach, leadership coach, I'm investing my time and energy in empowering individuals and teams and organizations to be successful. So that's my big result, wanting you to hope to say, I wonder how you do that. So take a minute to write your first line with your name, your business name, and stating your big result. Only one line is what you're writing here. Go ahead and put your hand up if you're ready to share your first big power line. Michael.
Hello. So I am Michael Whitehouse, the Summit Guy. I run Summits That Don't Suck. I'm the virtual event organizer for smart entrepreneurs who want to authentically attract leads through summits without having to do any work at all.
That sounds like a really long first line. And so you might have an opportunity to break some of that up into what your second line will be. However, if that works good for your first line, when you're making it into 30 seconds, then you can work through that. So we always keep our notes that we have so that we're putting them into where they fit in. Who else wants to share? Beginning with your name, your business name, and stating your big result, your first line. Bonnie.
All right, I'm Bonnie with Bonnie Dixon Photography, and I help businesses get more clients online through the use of visibility strategy and custom photography.
Thank you. Who else?
I'll go ahead and do it. I have a cold, so bear with my voice because I got to save it for speaking later. My name is Chris Salem with Sustainable Success Coaching. We work with business owners and their businesses along with coaches to help dramatically increase their revenue and net profit margin by raising their level of influence and through the power of speaking.
Thank you. And again, that was a lot of words. And so while they're good words, we think about how we're putting them together so that we can keep that into our 30 seconds. Carol, we'll finish with you and then we're going to move on to line 2. Carol, go ahead.
Sorry. Carol Blackberry Adventures. I provide tours and packages for people who like to explore the shores of Lake Superior and the Algoma region.
Okay, well, you're going to want to add, what's my big result? What do I get out of that? What result are you bringing to your audience? Okay, we're going to move on to line number 2. Line number 2 is a detail that describes your target market and how you solve a problem, because you want the people to say, yep, that's me, or I know someone who you should talk to. And we need to think about our qualified prospects. Qualified prospects have 3 things. They have to have a want or a need, they are the decision maker, and they have the dollars to invest. So sometimes when you hear Mary Kay people out there saying, everybody is my target market because they have skin, that's not necessarily the case. And that's sending out a really wide net to be able to engage with them. So I want you to think about line 2 with your detail of describing a detail around your target market that could include demographics that are the age, the where they live, type of person, and or the psychographics, which is something about their lifestyle, their mindset, who would want to work with you and why, and connecting onto your target market about how you solve a problem. So I work with service and relationship-based entrepreneurs and business owners who are great at their craft and their specialty and need to figure out all things business and sales. So think about your second line here that works off of your first line. And we're going to come back and share just that second line detail that's about your target market, as specific as you can, and how you solve a problem for them. Anybody ready with your second line? And we're not starting from the beginning. We're just doing your second line here. Go ahead, Bonnie.
All right. Specifically, I empower brick and mortar businesses with the right imagery to convert Google searches that walk through the door.
Okay, so we heard the brick and mortar, so she's given some specificity to her target market. Any details you can make about that so that I hear, oh yeah, that's me, or I know someone, is really important. James.
Striving to find this mute button. Oh, hang on. Let me turn off my avatar. Apologize. There we go. We support six-figure businesses who are or who want to be using digital marketing to drive growth.
Okay, so we're talking about that target market and a problem that we solve. And remember, in this line, you don't want to be throwing up all over them about the 17 problems that you solve. Pick a problem and describe that. Who's next?
I'll go ahead. Is that all right if I go?
Okay.
Here we go.
Yes.
I do this by implementing proprietary strategies that will help a business owner find a minimum of 100K in hidden annual revenue under any financial circumstances in less than 1 hour without spending an additional dollar on marketing or advertising.
Okay, I didn't hear a whole lot about your target market except for business owner.
Yeah, the target market is business owners across different businesses.
Okay,
We work with, we're agnostic. We work with business owners across different businesses from $500,000 to $100 million.
okay. So again, so you don't have to then have somebody say, wait a minute, tell me again who you want to know. We want to include those details in part of this in this part of your introduction so that we get a takeaway of that. And again, you don't have to tell everything about it, but we're picking a detail that makes sense about our target market so that we know who we should be introducing you to, or if in fact I'm a person who wants to talk with you. Okay, let's go on to line. Whoops, why isn't this moving forward? Let's go on to line 3. So line 3, you can either add another detail or you can ask it in the form of a question. I really like to ask it in a form of a question because remember at the beginning, I said that you want to inspire somebody to think and do. So when you do your next detail, your next line in the form of a question, you're highlighting more about the value that you bring or a problem that you solve. And you might start with, how would you like to, or what would happen if? When you use an open-ended question, it makes somebody have an answer. If you only say, do you think, or do you like, or do you something, it only provides a yes or a no. And you don't want somebody to say, nah, I don't need you because I'm all good. So you want to have somebody really thinking about that. So my question is, what would happen if you could stay consultative in your practice by leading with the problems that you solve and the value that you bring, rather than turning transactional by leading with your products and services that always leaves way too much dollars and opportunity on the table? So think about either a question or another sentence, if you prefer that highlights the value that you bring based upon your competitive edge, the problems that you solve, the value that you bring. Why do business with you? Go ahead and work on that third line. Anybody ready to share?
I'll share.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So what would happen if the business photos you use online attracted your ideal customer and didn't repel them?
There you go. Yeah, I think I might want that. Somebody else. Go ahead, Lois.
How would you like to explore your special expertise that others would gladly pay to learn?
There you go. One more.
Sure, I'll go ahead, Lisa.
Okay.
How would you like to find the unique stories that make up the history and the culture of this area?
There you go. So you get somebody thinking about that they would want to continue a conversation with you. Let's move on to line number 4. This is your closing. This is your big ask. This is your opportunity to say a good referral for me is. And you always want to close with your name, your business name, and your tagline. When you do that, it helps you from not continuing to talk and talk and talk and throw up again all over somebody about why you can do what you can do and how fantastic that you are. So here we go. Let's plan a time to chat about making it happen as you continue to work in and on your business throughout 2023. I'm Lisa Heintzelman with Illuminations Consulting, optimizing your success. So take a moment to consider what your close is, your big ask, a good referral for you is, your call to action. Who wants to share? Go ahead, Bonnie.
All right, I'm going for all 4 here.
Yep.
All right, so the close would be, let's set up a time to connect and review your current digital first impression. I am Bonnie Dixon, and I'm a business visibility strategist and photographer.
Thank you. And you might want to brainstorm a tagline.
Okay, sorry. Yes, I do have one. I didn't put it. And I want to help your images shine online.
There you go. I like that. I like the rhyme with that. Anybody else?
I'll jump in for this one.
Okay.
If you know someone who's tired of working hard doing inauthentic marketing for poor results, I'd like to meet them. I'm Michael Whitehouse, the Summit Guy, and I run summits that don't suck.
There you go. And so, let me see if we can. As you really think about your 30-second commercial, it's your way to introduce yourself through Zoom and through your face-to-face networking that you do. And remember that people really want to buy they don't want to be sold. And so again, you're inspiring them for the next step. You don't want them to totally make a decision right then and there to say, oh, I want to buy this. And so I welcome the opportunity to continue this conversation with you. One of my gifts is related to networking strategies for success, which is an opportunity for you to really brainstorm your why related to networking, how you're out there planning for your networking, engaging in your networking, and taking massive action for next steps. So I look forward to you jumping into the breakout rooms that Michael's going to have us go into and sharing out your 30-second commercial. Let this be a work in progress using some of that framework, and make sure that you are speaking from your heart. It is not about being perfect. And if you sound too scripted, it's not going to make sense to us. And think about it, if you get into some of the words that you're brainstorming with this and you're thinking about it that is getting too scripted in a way, take a moment to think about, where are you stopping to breathe for emphasis? And how are you accentuating and using your tone to tell that story? And how are you being inquisitive to let somebody want to say, oh my gosh, I want to have a conversation with you. So thank you very much. Looking forward to continued conversations here.